Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to race number 7 of the Mountain Dew Voltage Cup Series Season 6 here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the Porsche 350k. This is the first road course stop of the season here up in Canada. Steve Cavallo, who won the Season 2 race here, is on the pole. He's got Austin House beside him, Zachary Rogers and Keith Rich in row 2, Peter Sands, Michael Beeson in row 3, Michael Santos and Benjamin Tilton in row 4 with Adam Rogers and Peyton Goodwin in row number 5. So 15 laps of racing here today. Caution flags are off on road courses. Pit stops are off on this track because there's a pit road glitch when they go to enter pit road. And we should see some really good racing here today as they come to the line. Green flag is out here at Canada. You see how much of an edge that right lane gets as Cavallo will clear Austin Alves for the lead. Alves trying to clear Rogers for second. Rogers getting a huge run, though, on the outside. As they come to that tricky part of this track, this is the hardest part of the track by far. Ooh, Alves going to go way out in the dirt. Cavallo gets in the grass too, but Austin Alves went way off. As now Zachary Rogers looks to try to take the lead away from Steve Cavallo. Peter Sands up to 3rd after starting in 6th. Well, actually it was 5th. Beeson just beat him to the line. So here's your top 3. Cavallo will lead the first lap, but Rogers is there, ready to jump. Rogers looking to the right side of the 48. As I check to make sure nobody crashed, which it doesn't look like anybody did. Cavallo going to try to hold off the 3, trying to get a run. Now Peter Sands on his left. It's the battle for second. So 3-car battle for the lead now as Sands moves into second place. Ooh, Cavallo looking off the track. There he goes. Sands to the lead. Zachary Rogers maybe going to try to follow through for second here. Not having the best of luck right now, but Peter Sands up to the lead. Was 3rd last time by. You got Beeson 4th, Alves 5th, Santos 6th, Adam Rogers 7th, Keith Rich 8th, Sean Harple 9th, and Benjamin Tilton in 10th. And we have to watch this section. Sometimes they can wreck back here. As we look at the back of the field. But Peter Sands doing a good job right now. Looking for his first career victory. But he's got the 48 and the 3 still close on him. And that can cause pressure sometimes here as the 97 and the 48 go off track. That's going to give the 3 a shot at the lead. Or second place, I should say. But he doesn't get enough of a run on Cavallo, and he'll be stuck in 3rd. And that's going to allow Beeson and the others here to gain some ground. Peter Sands with by far the best lap of the race last time by. So now it's a 3-car battle for second. And Beeson just put down the best lap of the race. As you look at your top 10, but Sands in the lead. Gaining ground over the 48 and the 3 that time by. And Rogers could have gotten by Cavallo. I don't know how he couldn't have gotten by him. As Sands will go off, and so will Cavallo. Cavallo does not go off as much, so there's no opportunity for Rogers there. But it looks like Cavallo's going to gain some ground maybe on the 97. As Alves is trying to pop back in the picture up in 5th. Started 2nd down to 5th place. Rogers running in 3rd right where he started. As Peter Sands, who started in 5th, leads the race. Cavallo faster that time, but the drivers behind him were not faster than Alves. And Logan York has back end damage. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what happened to the 40 car. He's got some pretty good right rear end damage there. He must have got turned or something. He is not coming to pit road. He is going to stay out and race it. So we head back to the front. Sands and Cavallo go off, but Beeson brushing against the 3. And the battle for 2nd is getting even more tight-knitted now, as Santos and Adam Rogers are catching up. This is some really good racing here at Canada. And Alan Cavanero has retired from the race. And it looks like we've had an accident. So let's take a quick break and see what's happened. So first, let's see what happened to Logan York here. He's coming up through this turn, and I wonder if he just loses it right there. He's drifting too much, and he just lost grip. And he slides into the sand dunes, and the back end goes into those tire walls there. And that was what damaged his back end. And then as we head up towards where Alan Cavanero is, he's trying to pass Peyton Goodwin for 12th. And I talked about this as a bad area. Right there is a bad move to look, as he bumps into the 38 and then he loses it. Oof, that's a tough hit into the wall. So that's a tough break for Alan Cavanero. So we're back here live as Peter Sands leads the way. Sands off to the grass again. Cavallo and the others do not. And that could be a huge gain for these top 4 here behind Peter Sands, as I just tapped my mic. And Cavallo is gaining ground here. He is faster where 189, and these guys are going to gain there. We saw Alves catch a little grass as they're bunched up here, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Keith Rich getting a battle here from Sean Harple for 8th, as Tilton sits in 10th. Ooh, Keith Rich is going to go way off, and he's going to hit the wall. We saw before in practice earlier today that that left rear will catch the grass, but his whole back tires caught the grass, and that is going to cost Keith Rich a really good finish. And that is heartbreaking for the rookie. He qualified 4th. That is a heartbreak. And that moves Naylor into the top 10. As Cavallo did not gain as much as he thought he would have that last time. Peter Sands off, Cavallo off, Rogers maybe a little bit, but Beeson not. And now Alves goes off, and Michael Santos is looking for 5th place. And he's got Adam Rogers drafting him here. And Adam Rogers might go by his teammate here as well for 6th. Now Adam Rogers is fighting with Santos for 5th. Ooh, Adam got a little loose there. And Adam will take 6th place. Sean Harple 8th, Tilton 9th. Peyton Goodwin moves up to 10th, passing Michael Naylor. Cavallo gaining still some more ground. Not as much that last time. And Beeson goes off the track onto the other asphalt there. Wow, that was interesting. Rogers still behind in third. Peter Sands wants to finally get that first career victory. He's had heartbreak twice this season already. Last week at Pensacola, he had a shot. And he also had a shot back at Texas. And that time, Sands and Cavallo went off the track, and Rogers and Beeson are going to gain some ground. As we have two drivers out of the race. Alan Cavanero and Keith Rich, that's two Joe Gibbs drivers. As one of them, Benjamin Tilton, is in 9th. Michael Cavanero, the other, is in 31st. Sands gaining some ground back on Cavallo that time, as Rogers and Beeson gained some ground. Santos with a huge lap. Beeson trying to push the envelope here on Rogers. Wants to get by him. Sands going to go way off. Cavallo sticks it. Sands is going to have some pressure here now. Here comes Cavallo. Sands gets a little loose right there. 6 to go at the line. And we've lost another driver. I do not see the 39th place car. That is weird. What the heck? They must have already retired. And Michael Amato is out of the race. What happened to him? We're going to watch this turn, and then we're going to see what happened to the 24 car. They both stick it pretty good. Rogers off into the grass. Beeson's going to get by for third finally. But it's just Cavallo and Sands right now. Let's take a look and see what happened to Michael Amato. And Amato is basically going to have what happened to Keith Rich happen to him. He's trying to give Robert Rogers room. You see the left rear goes off, but the left front goes off too. And that's just going to drag him into the grass. And, ooh, that's a hard angle right there. It would have been fine if he just sideswiped that one or hit the other one here, but he got it right in the kink of it. That's a hard impact for the 24 car. Let's take you back to the live action. 5 laps to go. Despite them both hitting it, Sands with his best lap of the race is going to gain 2/10 on Cavallo. Beeson back to third, Rogers 4th, and Santos in 5th, who's got heavy pressure from Adam Rogers. As they head down into the toughest part of the track. Sands and Cavallo going off, so does Beeson. Rogers, the only one that manages to stay on. But let's go on board here in a minute with Peter Sands. We take a ride on board with the 97 of Peter Sands. You see how much they have to slide it. And this really just shows how tough this track is. As let's watch from the rear here. This is the hilliest part of the track by far. Besides that long straight, look how much the back end whips around. All of them doing a pretty good job right there of staying on the track. As Sands heads down the long straight part of the track. Hits 189, almost 190 miles per hour right there. As he's gaining ground on Cavallo as they come to 3 to go. Sands looks like he's in good shape. He keeps gaining the ground. Beeson is catching up a little bit, but I don't know if Beeson has the time. Rogers is losing ground back in 4th place, and I don't know if one of these two might try to pass him for position. Tilton has made it by Sean Harple for 8th. As we look at some of the other drivers here. There's Logan York. So Peter Sands with a good lead. Will he be able to hold on? Is the big question. As it will be 2 to go at the line. And I'm not entirely sure if Cavallo gained any ground that lap. He did. Beeson is rolling right now, though. If Beeson was in 2nd, he'd probably have a really good shot at the victory here. Peter Sands showing it's time for him to get that first career win. It's been over 150 races without a win, and he's been really good, too. Season 2, he had the most top 5s in the season. Actually, that's really all he did was finish in the top 5. As Peter is one of 8 drivers that has made every race this season. As him and Cavallo go off track, and that's going to allow Beeson up into 2nd place. We were talking about this if Beeson didn't have Cavallo in the way, but now Cavallo and Sands messed up that corner. And here comes Michael Beeson. But does he have enough time to come into the white flag? Sands just got to hit his mark on every turn, and he's good to go. White flag out here in Canada. Beeson is roaring right now. Last lap around this crazy track, which Cavallo, like I stated, Cavallo won the only race ever here back in Season 2. And here we go. This is the part of the track we got to watch. Sands and Beeson both nail it. If Sands had missed it, Beeson would have been probably right on his back bumper. But he nailed it, as Cavallo did not nail it at all. They come down the long stretch. Beeson gave it all he had, but Peter Sands, after starting 5th, finally gets it done. It's his first career Cup Series victory. He will win the Porsche 350k here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. He's finally a race winner in the Cup Series. Michael Beeson 2nd, Steve Cavallo 3rd, Zachary Rogers 4th, Michael Santos 5th, Adam Rogers 6th, Austin Alf 7th, Benjamin Tilton 8th, Sean Harple 9th, with Michael Naylor getting 10th. Nobody else crashed, so that's good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's race here at Canada. We're heading over to Wisconsin next week, which will be the running of the Snapple 300. But first, you guys have to go through your heat races. So I will see you guys at the Milwaukee Mile.